I'm Brian Croydragon, and welcome back to Vox Adventures. How about now you can see my eyes in a close-up. For goodness sake. So yesterday I finished around last night technically. Around stone yesterday, but more specific. I finished the quest. Whoops. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. Even though the snake can fly, it's stoned down dinged up from last year's snowstorm. Do you think you can run another errand for me? Sure, I'd love your help out. What can I do? I put in an order with a few other elves. Please go visit Pansy to pick up red dye so we can make a fresh coat of paint. Regnagord should have the mixing buckets ready. Please mind running that his delivery is due. Okay. Gotta find Pansy, Regnagord, who's easy to find, and Venny. Okay, what's going on? OBS not responding. Oh. Hold on a second. Okay, let's find everyone. Yeah, so yesterday I continued on with 100 Years of Horror. OMG, look at all these beautiful colors. I can't wait to paint this tree. Would you like to pose for my painting of this beautiful tree? You will only have to stay in the same place for a few hours, days at most probably. I'd love to pose, but maybe some other time. I actually came here to pick something up for Alora. Oh, right, the red dye she asked me to pick my best shade of red. You know there are all kinds of red in the world? It's really hard to pick a favorite. Which shade of red do you think I should recommend? How about a red like Santa's hat? Yes, absolutely. This is the best red. I can't believe I didn't realize that before. Well, here you go. Red dye to paint Santa's sleigh. It will look gorgeous with his outfit. You can never have too much red. Did you know one of his reindeers has a red nose? Do you think it will match? Maybe you should give me back my red dye and I will pick another shade. I can't move. Oh, right. So, as I was saying, I continued on with 100 Years of Horror. Went from the Mutants episode to the Mummies episode. Wonderful stuff. Really watched a lot. And it's appropriate that I watched the mutants episode because besides the obvious snow mutants here, there's also Yetis, which also were featured in the mutants episode. And yeah, a lot of people might say Arnold Schwarzenegger is the greatest action hero of all time. He does all his own stunts. Well, Christopher Lee did stuff even Arnold Schwarzenegger wouldn't do. You don't believe me? I've watched the 1959 remake of The Mummy, where he played the titular mummy. He did more stunts in that film than any mummy movie past, present, and future. Oh, what are you? Snow mutant, of course. Hi. Yes, Alex. Who's my kitten? What are you doing, Goofy? I am Ragnagord, the reindeer overlord. Yes, yes, I totally am. Admire me. I don't even want to know. Alora sent me. She mentioned buckets. Can you help me out? Alora, of course. She wanted bottomless buckets for Santa's sleigh. Do you think she will be impressed by their capacity to hold up to infinite items? I bet she will be. Everyone is impressed by Ragnagord. She will definitely be impressed by the buckets. Okay, now where is Venny? I don't even know if I remember who that is. Oh, right. Yeah, 100 Years of Horror, it's really great. I highly recommend it. It's perhaps the greatest horror film documentary after, along with Universal Horror, which was narrated by Kenneth Branagh. Of course, that was a single documentary and not a series, so greatest documentary that gets it all done in one sitting. Universal Horror, greatest horror documentary series. 100 Years of Horror. I need a break from fixing stuff. I haven't had a break in like 5 minutes. I was supposed to tell you to deliver parts to Alora. Maybe you should put off that break for now. Right, yeah. I will totally do that. Just give me like a 5 minute break. Just 5 minutes. Promise. we go back to Alora. No, wait. Pansy. Get that rotten flesh out of there. And oh, that's someone else. I was thinking, what new mob is this? Oh wait, am I supposed to go to Alora now? Thank you so much for having this run again. Thank you so much. Having you pick up these things meant I got to check 5 more things off my to-do list. That narrows it down to 42. You definitely deserve another reward for your efforts. At your service. Anything else I can help you with? Santa's reindeer are incredibly hungry, and they go through food so fast our supplies have all but run out. Can you check in with Ragnarok to see what can be done about that? I'm trying to earn the reward for Best Locksmith Helper. Of course, I have time to help you. And you deserve it. Now off you go. Right, back to Ragnarok we go. Excuse me. So what should we talk about? I'm not exactly sure. I am Ragnagord, the reindeer overlord. I'm so angry. Let's try again. I'm so hungry I could eat a reindeer. Perhaps you shouldn't eat the reindeer. That would make spreading cheeriness here pretty hard. And also be cannibalism. That is true. I need my fellow reindeer to fly around the world, but we are all so hungry. My bottomless bucket is almost out of frozen fruit cake. Could you get me a few more cakes? Of course, how many cakes do you need? Infinity, of course. Need you fill those buckets to the brim. That seems a little excessive. Fine, I am feeling like a generous reindeer overlord today. You will only have to do a fraction of the work. Bring me 3 frozen fruit cakes instead. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay. Just gotta find 3 chests. Sounds easy enough, but who knows how long it will take to find ones with frozen fruit cake. Come on, there's gonna be another chest around here somewhere. Oh, there we go. 3 gold lumps. Not what we're looking for. Coal, snowflakes, ice. Hmm. Hmm. Excuse me 1 second. So, as I've mentioned, 100 Years of Horror covers a lot of different subjects. Last night there was an episode about girl ghouls, which is to say, female horror villains, being a human or monster. Uh, Even Baby Jane was featured in that episode. I'm going to be going around in circles. Now, the Freaks episode was fantastic. They're talking about people who have been considered freaks for their physical differences, and how in these more enlightened times we don't view them as such anymore. But still, in the films that are featured makes sense. Of course, you have Todd Browning's Freaks. You have The Hunchback of Notre Dame films. If I'm not the Disney one. Thank goodness. Hmm. We have Christopher Lee talking in that episode talking about that James Bond one of his where he played a man with 3 nipples and bringing up the debate if it's a sign of of his character being evil or if it's a sign of increased sexual magnetism or whatever it was he was saying. He then said, as it is the romantic in him, it's both. the Aliens episode is really good. It covers a whole lot of things. Even Orson Welles' War of the Worlds broadcast, which you're probably wondering why, because that's not a film, but it eventually leads into the film adaptation from the 1950s. Wait. Yeah, no. And of course, Star Trek fans are sure to love Christopher Lee referring to Leonard Nimoy as the once and future Mr. Spock. I'm not the biggest Star Trek fan. I'm not exactly sure why. So something I've only ever watched at my grandparents'. Xmas Carols. And I did watch the first episode of the animated series on Netflix once. Mm. And a video on the Klingon Hamlet. But that wasn't so much because of Star Trek and more because Shakespeare. It was part of a series of Shakespeare adaptations. Excuse me. Oh, please, let this be frozen fruit cake. Coal ornament. Oh, jeez. Oh no. Wasn't even given time to summon Wotan. Or see if I could. Oh yeah, so you're probably wondering about those Yeti films that were covered in the Mutants episode. Yeah. Well, there were two of them. Oh, jeez. The first one, well, I'll just tell you what they are. They are the Snow Beast and the Abominable Snowman. One an American film, the other a British film. And it is the Snow Beast that goes into the surreal. Because it brings up the Yeti's legal status. Like a captured ape man should need a passport. The Sorcerer's episode is another good one. Of course, mind you, they're not all horror films in that episode. I mean, obviously you have the 1940 version of The Thief of Baghdad. And you've got a few other non-horror films. Like The Magic Sword, starring Basil Rathbone. If you haven't seen The Thief of Baghdad, the 1940 version, you probably have without realizing it. Why? Because instead of properly adapting Aladdin, Disney just decided to rip off The Thief of Baghdad. I mean, sure, you got the genie and all that, but even The Thief of Baghdad has a genie and 3 wishes. Even Jafar looks like the villain Jafar, played by Conrad Veidt. The Sultan of Agrabah looks like the Sultan of Basra. And the monkey Abu is named after the hero of the Thief of Baghdad, the titular thief himself. Abu, son of Abu Latif, son of Abu Latif, son of Abu Latif. Come on. The 1940 version of The Thief of Baghdad is a really, really great film. The story's great. It's really feels like a fairy tale. It takes inspiration from stories all across the Arabian Nights. The costuming is surprisingly accurate, especially for 1940. But it's still got that. But it's not completely accurate. It's still got that fairy tale feeling. But Conrad Veidt, he does vary the correct. He does vary the amount of. Well, his costumings are 100% accurate to how they would be for a man of his station. An Arabian lord or sultan or noble. He, yeah, of the golden age of Yes, Nam actually would have dressed like that. And of course, we have our hero, played by Sabu, an Indian actor, who is also the first actor to have ever played Mowgli. He played Mowgli 2 years later. And the film really holds up well because of this. The hero is played by an actor of Indian background. The villain played by a German actor. And at the end of the day, it's yeah, it's Sabu who gets to have all the adventures. Jafar is played vaguely Nazi-ish. Of course, I think, well, besides having been made during World War II, it might have something to do with Conrad Veidz's background, and he was fine with that. He fled Germany because of the Nazis and was perfectly happy playing Nazis or Nazi-ish characters that ultimately get killed. He wanted to see... Oh, battery running low, excuse me. Yeah, so as I was saying, he was perfectly fine with playing Nazis not get killed because they are very much the villains. Real life fiction, there's rarely anything good about a Nazi. I'd say perhaps the only good one was Oscar Schindler. And he was in the party for more of economic reasons, I believe. And really, people like him who were in it for they thought that the Nazis were going to make everything better. Well, yeah, you can imagine how that turned out when they figured out what was actually going on. Yeah, The Thief of Baghdad, it holds up far more better than than Disney's animated version of Aladdin. Because something that people have commented on it, and that I've also noticed, is that uh, despite being based on Conrad Veidt, who was of course German, uh, the character of Jafar still looks like an unflattering Arabian caricature. And I think some of that might have to do with his snake motif. Yeah, he really does not. He's really not flattering. In contrast to Aladdin and Jasmine, who are um, somewhat American looking. Aladdin was physically based off of Tom Cruise, and Jasmine off of her animator's sister. In this day and age, it probably would have. They would have been based off of actors of Arabian descent, I'm thinking. But hopefully not to the point of caricature with Jafar. Hey, you know what? Just take these. And hopefully it won't respawn with what we seek. Oh, jeez. Jeez. Oh, the scene with the mechanical flying horse, it's amazing. It still holds up really well. And I just love the ending where Abu just flies away on the magic carpet to have more adventures. It's such a great ending. Okay, let's just look around here for chests. Hey, you. Stay away from me. Come on. Yeah, it might sound like I'm slamming on Disney a lot. I said thank goodness for the Disney film not being featured in 100 Years of Horror for The Hunchback of Notre Dame. In the Freaks episode, I mentioned that a film in 1940 holds up better than a film made in 1991. And that's because it does. And it still holds up really well even today. Abu was the film was very popular with black audiences, Asian audiences, basically audiences that weren't right, and there's a good reason for that. It was the first time a lot of them saw a non-right adventure hero, non-right fantasy hero. Hopefully it won't respawn with what we seek. It's fairly hilarious that the Disney villain Jafar um, is considered is basically a unflattering caricature, just not of Conrad Veidt, but of an Arabian person, of an Arabian man. Because Conrad Veidt was quite a sex symbol in his time. He was immensely popular with female, and I dare say even male film goers. And it was actually Conrad Veidt who got all of the love letters, because Sabu was a teen, and the yellow co-star, I forget his name, the one who plays the rightful Sultan of Baghdad, had never made a film before, so he wasn't exactly well known. Hmm. Come on. of course, if I bring up the Sultan of Agrabah, looking at like the Sultan of Basra again, where was I going with this? Well, the Sultan of Agrabah doesn't get killed by a mechanical toy that stabs him in the back, so guess that's an improvement. And he's not really. Well, yeah, he's still a caricature, more of a caricature of a monarch than of an Arabian person. Yeah, the remake of Aladdin is more. Its version of the Sultan is not a caricature; it's an actual character. I know the character does go through character development in the animated series and the TV show, but we're restricting this to the original film. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I think one of the things that really makes Jafar un not look exactly flattering is his snake motif. As I said, Conrad Veidt was a pretty good looking guy. Yeah, he was needing man material. And if it wasn't for the evil Chancellor trope, I dare say he would have made an excellent hero. For the Thief of Baghdad. Really, snakes are not inherently good or bad. It's just this thing that Western civilization has with them. Rudyard Kipling uh, portrayed snakes both positively and negatively. Like, uh, you have, of course, the heroic Ka, and then you have the guardian of the treasure beneath the old city, a white cobra who has outlived his venom. There's nothing inherently evil about a snake. They have their gifts to survive just as any other animal does. But giving someone a snake motif in the negative way really does not do wonders for the character. With Jafar, you've got his sharp teeth, the way his tongue sticks out sometimes when he talks. Yeah, it's really not flattering at all. Not to the memory of Conrad Veidt or to Arabian men. Arabian, Arabic? I don't know which to say. And if I'm gonna harp on the Disney film one more time, seriously, red and black, I know, go with colors associated with evil, but red's my favorite color and I don't really like being associated with evil. And really, in The Thief of Baghdad, Jafar wore quite a few costumes over the course of the film, and they weren't always the same color. They were never the same color. He wore black, he wore white, he wore red, he wore costumes of many colors. And something that I really think was a missed opportunity for the remake was to have Jafar wear something else than red and black. Sometimes I think about writing a Arabian Nights inspired story set during the golden age of Islam, of course, which was going on while the Dark Age was the Dark Ages were going on in Europe, and and ended with the Mongol siege of Baghdad in 1285. I'm pretty sure it was 1285. And when I say it was going on the Dark Ages was going on in Europe, that shouldn't mean it was going on entirely at that time. It started sometime in the 800s, I believe, when oh, I forget his name, but the powerful Sultan founded the first library or university, house of knowledge in that part of the world for a long time. The Library of Alexandria, I'm not exactly it's considered lost, so must have happened long ago, long before then. Yeah, it probably did. I don't know, maybe after the time of the Roman pharaohs, the last pharaoh, Maximian Dai, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. Let's see, our 5th century, 4th, 5th century, I believe. Late 4th, early 5th. Yeah, the pharaohs, they lasted well into the time of Christianity. In fact, it was Alexandria becoming a Christian city that eventually. That was one of the reasons that the title just came to an end. Excuse me. Yeah, as I was saying, I think about doing my own Arabian Nights inspired uh, story and have it be set during the golden age of Islam and no evil vizier. Have him be a hero. Yeah, just I know that the evil vizier is kind of a I don't know expected, but the vizier, the actual Jafar, and yes, he was such a person. He's the one that many an evil vizier is named after. He was a great person. It's really too bad that he's pretty much he's been portrayed being his name's being pulled through the mud posthumously. Of course, the Arabian Nights were valor inconsistent with both him and his sultan, sometimes a hero, sometimes a villain. Yeah, so there you go. but at least it alternated. It wasn't perpetually a villain. For him. And as long as we're on the subject, the story Aladdin originally set in China. And China does actually have a region that's fairly like the Middle East. It's called Turkestan. So it's likely that Aladdin is set in Turkestan. I mean, yeah, the monarch's called a sultan and not an emperor, but taking Mulan into account, and I know not from the Arabian Nights. You have to remember, Mulan was Zion Bay, so because the Northern Ray were well, predominantly Zion Bay, and their monarch was called Khan as well as emperor. It stands to reason that the Arabic people of Turkestan are simply referring to the emperor as Sultan. Because culturally, a sultan is an Arabian monarch. Of course, considering it was originally told by an Arabic man, he might not have known the actual word for the Chinese monarch, so he he knew that there was. The way I think it goes is that he knew there was a part of China like the Middle East. He just didn't know what the monarch of China was called. So it was when he was telling the story to the person who was writing it down, instead of emperor, he said sultan. Because it's important to remember, Aladdin not originally part of the Arabian Nights. It was added in later editions. Oh, come on. Fruitcake, where are you? So yeah, not just the Middle East we'd visit China as well. Maybe India too. And I'd find a way to feature a Gaelic Irish character, but he wouldn't be the lead. There would be a Sinbad-esque character with a multi-ethnic crew. Have the Sinbad-esque character be Arabic, of course. I'm thinking his first mate would be Moorish. Maybe Berber? No, Moorish. Yeah, the idea of this character would be like he'd have traveled far, not just in the Arabic world, in the Islamic world, but all across Afro-Eurasia. He'd be very much familiar with the peoples, so he'd have perhaps yeah, he'd have a really diverse crew. The Grand Vizier, he'd be, as I said, he'd be a hero. Not sure how I'd have the Sultan be. I'd definitely not have him be a caricature. Have him be an actual character. Maybe a villain to counter the fact that instead of the Grand Vizier being evil, he's good, so there you go. Of course, there have been cases of heroic viziers in fiction based off of the Arabian Nights, such as the Golden Voyage of Sinbad. Who at the end is to become the Sultan of his city, because, well, the Sultan he served died, no heirs, so naturally he'd be the one to inherit the position. Actually, I'd probably have the Vizier being of African origin. Uh, he'd be from the Maghreb, much like the sorcerer from the original Aladdin story, who is one of the three bases for the character of Jafar from the original story. While the film is predominantly based off of The Thief of Baghdad, there is a little bit of Aladdin that still pokes in. Please. I just can't catch a break. Well, first one at the end. This is not fruitcake. What in? No, really, I can't just. Search continues. I once threw a sentient fedora into lava. It was annoying. Like subliminal messaging in movies. Why? You know what? I'm never gonna get a key, so what's the point? What? Where is the fruitcake? Okay. Finally, your reindeer overlord is so hungry. Yeah, I did it for you once. I'm not doing it again. Not till next year, anyway. Where am I even going? Oh, there we go. Everything looks so different from this angle. You are the best, but your doing list now only has 69 things. On it, you deserve less reward. Whoops. Oh no, 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 whatever should I do? Did you have anything to do with this? To do with what? You seem upset. You look suspicious. Are you a child or an adult? I love kids, especially elven kids, but blocky kids are cool too. I guess I should be a little nicer to you. It's horrible. Our little future workers are being kidnapped by the monstrous Yeti. Do you know, like, Yeti like to nibble on little elven fingers and toes? How would we make your toys without our toes? I need a hero to flex some muscles at them. You are the most blocky kid I have ever seen. Destroying the opposing Yeti forces so they will think twice before nibbling on their own toes again. You can hunt us for a Yeti to scale them off. How many do I need to kill? Five should... 5 kills should be enough to keep them at bay for now. Okay, I'm on it. No, in the 7th grade we did fake news reports. Uh, One of us did a story of an old lady helping a boy across a busy street. When they went to film it, the street was definitely not busy. There was no cars coming. It was just 2 people walking across the street. Everyone was laughing. Yes. Yes, Alex. You can come in. Damn. Hey. Hey. Hey, kitten. Hey, Alex. Oh, you okay? as you go on the knuckles. Do you know the way? Do you know how to bloody spell? Yeah, I really like the new look the Yetis have. Used to be Sully from. It used to be it just used to be zombies with leather armor and the head of Sully from Monsters Inc. No, I'm starting to think I should just stick to the caves. Like, maybe I should try the other side. I mean, yeah, potentially suicidal, but gotta do what you gotta do. Maybe we're a bit too low. How will I go? I'm venturing through these portions of the mountain and I can't find a damn Yeti when I can't usually find them on a regular basis here. Whoa, what's that? Oh, okay, never mind. Well, that's all for today, everyone. I'm Brian Croydragon signing out. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Stay straight.